Hello friends and fans, welcome to A Gato Getaway. If you're new here, I'm Lena. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I wanted to do something of a fun topic, not strictly Lolita fashion, but definitely inspired by the style. I have been in Lolita for over 10 years now as a wearer, and for a good period of time I did consider myself a Lolita lifestyler. I do still wear Lolita fashion multiple times a week, and it definitely is the primary style that is in my wardrobe, even though I dabble in so many different sub-styles and so many different things. Lolita still reigns supreme as far as sheer quantity of items I have. And so I thought I'd do a little bit of like a Lolita lifestyler inspired video for you guys this week. And I wanted to talk about nightwear. And this is specifically like Lolita inspired nightwear that I particularly like to wear. This is not the end all be all of what the options are for Lolita sleepwear. You cannot go wrong with just a simple chemise, top, tank, and bloomers. All of those options are a-okay, good to go. I do have a few chemises here on this rack, but for me personally, how I like to interpret the idea of Lolita sleepwear is I take a good bit of inspiration from Cult Party K. Now, if I'm saying a bunch of different things that you don't recognize the words for, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to explain more in depth, but the focus of this video is not Cult Party K. Let me know if you want a whole video on that, and it's not specifically lifestyle Lolita, but if you want a video on that, let me know down below and I'll be happy to do it. The first Lolita nightwear I want to talk about is actual Lolita garments that are intended or can be used as sleepwear. Now, there was at some point, I don't think Truly Darling is still around, but they were a Florida-based indie Lolita brand that did release, I believe, a couple of different nighties. They were made out of beautiful chiffon, and they were mostly sheer, but they had beautiful details. It was kind of a baby doll cut. If I can find a photo of it, I will stick it in here for you guys to see what they look like. And if you don't see a photo right now, sorry, it's something that unfortunately has been lost to the ages of the internet, and I'm not good at super sleuthing. Anyway, there have been some releases by actual Japanese brands that are intended to be sleepwear. I know Baby has done a few, and then Angelic Pretty has done a few pieces that are named, like they did a whole set that was called Elegant Nighty, and that's just a JSK dress that came with a sleep mask as its headpiece, and they've done a couple of different specific headpiece that look like eye masks. I believe one of their prints that look like bedrooms also has a sleep mask headpiece. And then there are other simpler pieces that work well for sleepwear itself. This JSK is one such example. This is Angelic Pretty's Lady Pleats JSK. It came with a bunch of removable bows that I don't keep on the JSK because they are just straight up pins, and I always worry about it tearing the chiffon overskirt on this. The dress itself is very simple. It's just a lining layer that is in itself sandwiched with another lining layer. This is like a thicker kind of polyester, and then we have the sheer white chiffon, and then the whole bodice is made out of that polyester material that is fully sheared. So it is super, super, super comfortable, and I love styling this as like a room wear, nightwear dress. I've worn this in slumber party themed coordinates. The next Lolita adjacent sleepwear option that I would highly recommend is chamises. I mentioned these earlier. A chemise is a historical type of undergarment that would have been worn underneath dresses for many centuries, in fact. I have here two that I made myself. This one is just very simple. It's got lace on the hem, cute short puff sleeves, and then I've put a belt on this one so you can see how it does and can mimic the actual Lolita silhouette. This one has, I believe they're half or full length sleeves. I think these are half length sleeves though. But you can find them today in all sorts of different ranges. They are very popular with Ren Fair costumes, but you can find ones that are like cheaper costume quality, and then you can find ones that are nicer quality. Because I made both of these, I know that they're really nice, they're really well made. I do make these sometimes for my shop, which, not to like shamelessly self-promote, but I do. This one is actually made from bed sheets that are super high thread count cotton, and that's why I kept them for myself, because it is so soft. But anyway, chamises are super comfortable. They're great loungewear for just any time, and I highly, highly, highly recommend these if you want to do something that is very, very Lolita, super comfortable to sleep in. And you know, if you just want to be like Wendy Darling from Peter Pan, you just do this with a ribbon around your waist, and there you go. Third option I'm going to recommend is probably the furthest from the actual Lolita silhouette that we'll get in this video. I love vintage nightgowns, specifically these A-line ones that are not full length, but they're just above the knee. These style ones, when they're worn, they do have a really cute A-line silhouette. The skirts are not too full. Like, you can't wear a petticoat with this one like you could with the previous options, but on the human form, they do have still like the fullness. If you wanted to put a belt on here, you could, and have it still poof out, because these are typically a organza or chiffon overlay with a shift lining that has really cute details. This one's got like little flower designs here, and this one is just like a singular lace detail along the collar. I really do love these. I have a lot of vintage nightwear, which is my preferred option when I'm wearing Lolita. I love just having not when I'm wearing Lolita, but like my option for nightwear. I have a lot of basic shift dresses, and I have a lot of peignoirs. Peignoirs are something that became really big in Lolita fashion because of Cult Party K, and you can find the very popular sheer ones with the big beautiful puff sleeves still all over the place. The ones I have are all vintage. There are a fair bit of Lolita indie brands that are making ones that are intended specifically for the fashion. Actually, let me go get them. Here is one of the peignoirs that dear Celine put out. They're a Chinese indie brand. They did release these in a couple of different colors. I don't know if they're still available on their Taobao shop, but I have two of these. I have this lavender one and I have a navy one, and they're super cute with Lolita. They're the perfect length to go with my Lolita dresses specifically, but these are also really great for nightwear around the house and just like wearing like a regular peignoir. Now, the other option, there are solid, you know, peignoirs, which before I move on from that, I, of course, love this guy. I showed you a little bit of it when I was mentioning the shift dresses. These, again, are my go-to option. I love, because they're just like, they're flattering on me, and they make me feel luxurious and like $1 million, which I think is kind of how I want to feel when I'm in my downtime. Lolita itself is a very, you know, it's an expensive hobby. It's a luxury hobby. Anybody who, like, you can be thrifty. I try to be very thrifty with my Lolita. I'm also very thrifty with my nightwear. Most of this stuff is secondhand or vintage and purchased for a very reasonable price. But, you know, even if I'm not worth $1 million, I want to feel like it. So anyway, moving on. The other last option, like continuing on from chamises, is actual historical sleepwear. This is buttons all the way down. I tend to wear it as an overrobe nightdress kind of thing instead of an actual nightdress, which is why it's completely unbuttoned. But this is a reproduction nightdress that I actually purchased from a site. I will see if I can find a link for this, but This is super cute, super comfortable. It's 100% cotton, so it breathes, but it's also one of the heaviest items here because most of the other items I've shown you guys so far are some kind of polyester blend, meaning that they feel very light. The fabrics feel soft and not stiff. I think that that's one thing to really keep in mind when you're looking around for stuff to use for your nightwear is make sure that it's made of good quality material and they're super soft. I tend to wear this more in the cooler months, even though it's cotton, because it is so heavy and it's very long. I find that it works really well for that. And I think I've gone through everything on my rack. I hope that this quick look at my nightwear closet has been inspirational for you. This is just, again, what kind of nightwear I tend to lean to for when I'm looking for something that sort of gives me the same feeling of the Lolita aesthetic, or if I want to emulate the Lolita silhouette with my nightwear. There are so many different ways that you can do this. This is just a short, brief look at what I personally do. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been planning to do it for a while. I have a lot of videos that I'm planning on doing that are on my to-do list. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought, if you want more lifestyler tips and tricks and whatnot. And since I'm on a weekly upload schedule now by magic somehow still, I will see you guys next Wednesday. I hope you have a more amazing day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.